matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Denver Broncos.
Justin Tucker to kick off football.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. On first down, Locke. He'll find Lindsey here. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Throwing again on second down. Locke got Gordon open, completes it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
Melvin Gordon.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to have 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Locke working out of the gun. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he gets it down to the 48. Enough for the first.
Denver Broncos.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
At the 48-yard line.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Back to the ground now with Gordon. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Block on target there to Fant, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 27-yard line. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. On the counter, here's Gordon. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Into the red zone, it's Locke. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line.
Brought down at his
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
On the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Now Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Jackson going to find his running back here. It's Dobbins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Taken down right.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore.
To Nick Boyle.
Nick Boyle, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front.
And going for Hamler, but this is intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Intercepted by the Ravens. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
After the interception, here's Jackson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
15-yard line.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Touchdown,
J.K. Dobbins. Touchdown number 22 on the season as the Ravens push further out in front.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And Luck throws another one. It's intercepted. Picked by Jared Wilson. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
47-yard line.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Duvernay.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, and he slings one that's incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's complete to his running back, J.K. Dobbins. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And And Jackson throwing once more. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And a Raven first down.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing again, Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
To Mark Andrews. Touchdown.
Mark Andrews with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. And oh, it's no good. For the second time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Lock to throw on second down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Tack McKinley racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the return will stop right around the 25.
First and 10.
We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
They go play action here on first down. Looking for the end zone. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 12 yards there and a first down.
10 at the 28-yard line.
A quick throw outside by Locke. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense.
Brings up third down and 12.
The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down.
For the Broncos.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
40-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast.
That's caught at the 25. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it.
25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Fakes the give to Gordon. Now here's Locke to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Daniil Hunter racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now Charles dealing with a third and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 44-yard line.
Do that again, buddy. Do it again.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
I'm coming. 45.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. That's complete to Demetrius Harris, the tight end. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Ravens.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Baltimore.
Hollywood, Marquise Brown. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Ravens add on. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good.
Ravens 33. Broncos nothing. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just... run the clock out and go to the locker room.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's 3rd down.
On the coverage.
Block off of play action. He'll go up top here for Hamler. It's caught inside the 25. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And that is no good.
No good.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
To kick off for
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Don't get nervous.
Jackson from the shotgun. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
17 yards.
It's worth noting when you talk about Jackson's running ability, the Baltimore wide receivers had just over 1,400 receiving yards combined last year. And, Charles, that was the fewest yards by a wide receiver group in the NFL since 2011.
And, partner, I expect that number to go up this year. Last season, Lamar Jackson got very comfortable with his tight end group. In fact, he had one tight end and went to the Pro Bowl. But I think now, because of his ability to run the ball, it'll bring defenders closer to the line of scrimmage, and you'll see more big plays from the wide receivers downfield.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 46-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Jackson going to throw quickly here, complete. And he's got this down to the 35. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And a Raven.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Justin Simmons. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Locke and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. He'll throw from the gun. Well, going deep here for Taylor. And this one is incomplete. The intended receiver, Taywan Taylor. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd down and 10.
But we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
Now here's a throw, and that's Taywan Taylor with it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Locke now on first down. And my goodness, another interception. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. might want to take that course.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 16 yards, a first down.
16 yards.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Forced out to his left. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson can really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown.
Marquise Brown. Touchdown.
Marquise Brown, 26 yards. And this offense is running away with this one. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Ravens 40. Broncos nothing.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Locke going to hand it off here to Gordon. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that, because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Locke. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Sam Martin in punt.
But coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face. Coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
At their own 46-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
And
if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Brought down back at the 43-yard line.
One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. 45, 45. Mike, 45. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Another run here with Dobbins. They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he's not going to get the first down. He had to get to the 30, but he's a yard or two short. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
It's a pickup.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
49.
And here's a quick throw to Hamler on the edge. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. KJ Hamler, the intended receiver.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Now a play fake here on first down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll go again with Dobbins. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
He's brought down.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
45, 45, 45, Mike, 45.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A gain of 5. First down, Baltimore.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On 2nd down now, Dobbins, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
3rd down.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
A gain of 3 yards. It's now 4th down. Today's final score.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Baltimore, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 16-0, joining the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to ever do so. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Denver, it'll be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 6-10. And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.